Glad to have him as a member of the unit.
I want to start off by thanking the members of my unit, to include the ATF and the RTCC, who worked alongside me through the investigation and provided valuable information that assisted in identifying all involved parties. I'd also like to thank the members of the community who provided crime tips. They were essential in the investigation. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to the ATF.
All right, good morning. My name is AJ Gibbs. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge of ATF's Louisville Field Division. I oversee ATF's criminal investigations here in Louisville, as well as our Crime Gun Intelligence Center. More than ever, ATF is committed to protecting the communities from violent crime. In Louisville, we do that by partnering with LMPD and other law enforcement partners to identify criminals who use firearms to hurt others, as this is the case for one little girl named Onyx Sands. Last month, Onyx was with members of her family traveling in a vehicle when she was shot and critically injured in an act of gun violence. Through the selfish act of others, her life and the lives of her family have been affected forever. Despite the obstacles that Onyx now faces, this little girl has shown tremendous spirit and bravery. Onyx's mother put it best that Onyx is a perfect little girl. ATF and LMPD recognize that Onyx's case is not just an isolated incident, as others in the community are faced with violent crime every day. With a strong commitment in protecting our community, earlier this year, LMPD established the new non-fatal shooting unit. As a result, ATF dedicated special agents, crime gun analysts, as well as other resources, including NIBIN ballistic technology and firearms tracing, to support LMPD in this effort. As you've heard today, arrests were made in the conduct surrounding the shooting of Onyx. Additionally, ATF, with support from LMPD and the U.S. Attorney's Office, was able to bring forth federal charges against one of the subjects in this case. Jonathan Rivera was charged for violating federal firearms laws. In last month, he was charged, indicted by a federal grand jury, and now faces trial coming forward. I wish to share my gratitude for the efforts of the men and women of LMPD, ATF, and the non-fatal shooting unit and their work in this case. I'm confident that this message is clear today, that we will not stand by and allow those who use violence to harm our community. ATF stands with LMPD, and together we are committed to making Louisville a safer place to work and live. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Lieutenant Lacefield for questions.
I'll take a few questions.
Lieutenant, so this case is effectively closed at this point? You said the final suspect.
The investigation at this point is done, but we still have to move forward with prosecution.
We had spoken at a separate shooting weeks back about this non-fatal shooting and how much it's freed you guys up to be able to investigate more efficiently. Is this an example of it working quicker in this case?
Absolutely. To be able to track down all the people involved as quickly as we did, and then get enough information to charge them accordingly, is a perfect example of this working out. Excellent.
I know Mr. Stark was from Clarksville, Indiana. How much did that play in terms of the timing of making that arrest and making the jurisdiction between Indiana?
With our partners with the ATF, it went flawlessly. We consulted with Indiana State Police to some degree to get some intelligence, and the ATF helped us on that. So that went very well.
Can you speak to how helpful witnesses were in identifying the people?
Very helpful. Initially, after it happened, when we did the first press conference, we had, I think, one or two witnesses come forward. After that, we got an additional 3 to 5 that were instrumental in putting this case together.
I believe there's a lot of forward casings at the scene that helped ATF with the ballistics. How crucial was that to matching with these 2 suspects?
Very crucial.
Is there something you guys learned from this case specifically that was different or that you can use in similar cases going forward?
It validated the plan of the non-fatal shooting unit moving forward. It shows how effective that it is, and it just strengthened the relationships that we have with other law enforcement agencies and with the ATF.
How many of your men and women specifically, in your unit, did you have on this case?
There are 16 detectives in the unit. At some point or another, every one of those detectives did some work on this case.
I know Onyx's mother has been, talking about trying to get justice for her baby, and kind of playing the baby game with her being rolled out. What was her reaction when this news was relayed, about the arrest of the yesterday?
She was relieved, and we did our best to convey to her the importance of putting together a quality, thorough investigation that will lead to successful prosecution. Early on, we had enough to make an arrest, but if we make the arrest and it gets thrown out in court, then Onyx never gets justice, and that's what's important in this scenario, and to every victim of violent crime.
Is Jonathan Revere currently in custody?
We have reached out to his attorney to turn himself in, and we believe that will happen in the very near future, if not already. All right.
Permission for this, with Colonel Bates here, is he able to give any update on the Southern Lounge investigation?
No, this is about this. Yeah. Thank you, appreciate you.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
The video is getting ready to be published on our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
This mask is the reason I